Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and if you're new here on my channel, I usually talk about Japanese movies, dramas, entertainment. Sometimes I tap into other Asian pop culture topics as well, but if we're being real, for the past couple of months or so, and as well as, the past couple of years and all of that, I have been talking about Number I a lot because I'm also such a huge fan of them. I've shared my recent experiences going to the concert, unboxing goods, all those things. You can check out the rest of the channel if you want to see those. But for today's video, I'm just super excited because we are going to talk about another Number I music video. And I'm also filming this and will be posting this on Shaw's birthday. I record and post these things on the same day usually. And I'm just super psyched because number one, when they released this song on the 26th, I love the track. It's they describe it as kind of like their first approach to a love song. It's also produced by Shaw. And the thing is, like, Number I has had, some variations of love songs before, but not as direct as something like this, which is, has a love song narrative as a lead track. I mean, we have Blow Your Cover, but that is more of like an R&B track and kind of just shows a layer to them after they released Goat. But this, contrasting like the rest of their discography so far, it's kind of like their first take on a love song with the sound that they've produced as Number I so far. And when I first heard this song, my immediate thought was, it's such a cute track. It's their first time kind of like having a more pop approach, especially when it comes to their lead tracks. What's most interesting about this is being a Shaw produced song. It also has to do with unrequited love, which is kind of like expected from him. I mean, jumping off, but I kind of like expected when they described it as a pure kind of love, describes a pure kind of love as a love song with a deep, heavy bass. I thought it was gonna be, a positive, really happy kind of like approach to a love song. But then this is definitely bittersweet, still within the Number I branding in terms of sound and in terms of just the delivery. Still has touches of rap, but also a lot of like it's definitely like something that is equally new but also familiar. Like, it's something that still has that signature Number I flavor. And I absolutely love this track. Like, when they released it, I was just listening to it over and over and over, and I was really curious as to how the music video was going to be. But considering the trend of their music videos lately with their quirky stories, I ended up watching this music video. And I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I was so intrigued just diving into the worldview that they put into this. So yeah, and that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. And just super hyped for it because I have so many thoughts about this video. And I'm just so obsessed with the biology concept as well, especially following what they did with Mikako Ninryoiki. So yeah, so enough of the intro. Let's get to it. First off, the intro. Again, as we look at this, the aesthetic, or even the teaser, is very much VHS 90s vibe, which I really, really like. I mean, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up watching a lot of like VHS tapes. And it's got that kind of like familiar grittiness to it. I personally love a more gritty film-like aesthetic as well. Like, if you've seen my Instagram account, I kind of like edit my videos and shoot my videos in a way that has this very film-like feel to it. I know Shaw is also kind of like into the aesthetic even before he got his digital camera. So, and they've been playing around with these kind of like retro inspired like TV vibes in their past music videos, like with Numbers Your Zone, the intro for that very kind of like 90s TV commercial shopping channel vibe. And like Lava Lava as well, like it has that. And even like their visualizers for Hirakagoma definitely giving like Windows during the 90s, early 2000s with the music player. So it's kind of like interesting that even with their music influences, with uh it's more of them giving it a new flavor, but you definitely know that they're the type of people who are so into those kind of like earlier 80s 90s music inspirations, and it also shows with the way that they do their creatives. Again, for this kind of like look or aesthetic in 2026, where everything is just 4K with kind of like blurred out, you know, like blown up lighting in most videos and all that, and then we get something like this, I think is just really cute and really inspired. And yeah, also the ET reference, which is so interesting because again, I'll discuss more of my interpretation of the concept, and I think a lot of people's interpretation of the concept, but it kind of like kicks you off as to who they are in this particular story. They're pretty much kind of like the foreign or the alien bodies entering this unfamiliar world, which is again kind of like a play with the concept of Mikahonin Roiki or uncharted territory. So yeah. I know that the castle has definitely been nostalgic for a lot of us who's been fans of them pre-Number I era. If you know, you know. I need a moment because this is so funny to me. It's ridiculously dumb looking. That this is what I love about them. They're not afraid to make fun of themselves and just look ridiculous. Like we've had a lot of these weird ass concepts in the past. It's also kind of like a nice recollection reference to Bon, where that which is also produced by Shaw, where they were riding bikes there. And I know that the continuation for that story was in Azuma, given the lightning in the sky scene in that music video, but it also plays into the whole bicycle concept from Bon to this one. And this entire music video looks like a unicorn just threw up on them. So pretty fitting visuals. And I like the colors and everything. So I love this. Again, the very cotton candy-esque video. Can we just let's focus on the lyricism first, because I think for how normal the storytelling is of the song, it's about someone who recalls an old kind of love, a love that was, whether it's unrequited or something that was lost in the past, that you know, like you're looking back at it and there are just so many memories there that you feel so much love still. It's kind of like a mundane experience that, you know, people kind of like can relate to, that kind of like romance, whether that's young love or something. But contrasted with such a surreal music video, it's just an interesting concept. And to me, again, it kind of like is interesting just seeing that kind of like gap in terms of how love is like it's something like if you look at, you know, the lyrics, it's something that can be a semi-universal experience for everybody, having that kind of like lost love, one-sided love type of thing. But the experience can be very surreal and magical and different and otherworldly for a lot of people, which is kind of like, again, the contrast of the lyrics with the music video that they're delivering. I also like this. I wish the penlight for this year would look like this or somehow adjacent to this. I don't know, but yeah, I just really, really love it. So cute. For this particular character right here, initially I was kind of like confused as to what it is. But I'll try to explain like my interpretation of the M character later on. I know that a lot of fans have like different interpretations of it already, but I'll just share mine in a bit once we've been introduced to the lady characters, which is very crucial to the worldview of the music video. These outfits and the set is really, really cute. Oh my god, and can I just say, this choreography? I don't know why, I'm feeling emotional right now, but as much as being a fan of them from before Number I kind of like, I appreciate their sound a lot, like their current sound, and I really love like their direction, and I've always been kind of like a hip hop R&B kind of girl. But I sometimes from time to time, like being a fan of them from their previous era, I kind of miss them doing like really fun, cute songs, and they do that for their B-sides, which is amazing. But it just kind of like feels like I feel elated seeing them finally have a lead track that also explores this kind of like energy. I'm not expecting them to push out like, you know, more fun pop songs moving forward, because I think they've gone way past that. Their genre, even for this particular song, they have rap, they have deep basses, they have all of these other things. And I'm not expecting them to go full on bubblegum pop anytime soon, but it's just something that warms my heart a lot, like seeing them create this kind of like sound and have this kind of like fun-ish choreography that is still very much complex, still very much Number I, but I just love how they're diversifying their genre into exploring these types of songs again, or somewhat adjacent to these kinds of sounds, you know, so yeah. Sorry. Let's go back a bit. They're so cute. I kind of get all of the other characters except for these ones at the pool. Jin is so cute there. Sorry. Let's just go back one more. Jin does these types of characters really well, and it's so funny because for some reason, like, he has this image to other people, even their staff, like, he seems like he's the behaved, demure member out of all of them, but being a fan for so long, you just know that he's waiting for these types of, like, vibes to just unleash anytime. And I know, I just find this really funny. It's one of my favorite frames from this music video. Here, so we have Miss B, Miss Helper, and Miss Killer, which are all references to immune system cells. And it's so interesting that they're going with the biology route yet again, especially coming off of Mikako no Yoiki. But what I like about this as well is if you think about it, so in the beginning, they were kind of like the ET reference makes sense. So these ladies, they look alien-esque, but if you think about it from the perspective of, you know, now that we've been introduced to these characters, we realize that the aliens are actually number I, and they're the ones kind of like invading or coming into this territory that isn't theirs. And they're, even with the line in the song later on talking about how the two lovers are like immunity and pathogen, and it drives home this particular message of, you know, like these are two different things that couldn't really coexist because they're made to kind of like fight or eliminate each other. But the play is, you know, how being like sick or lovesick, that's how love makes you feel. Like sometimes you're just so lovesick, dead, down, just in love with this person that it isn't really logical. And even if, you know, it doesn't make sense, like it still happens. And I think that's also kind of like the vibe of what a song is. Like here there's a lost kind of love, and the lyrics suggest that, you know, even like through the years it didn't really end well, and you see this other person, they're happy with someone else, and you're just kind of like living in different worlds now, but you still have big love for them. And it's just very, very interesting how it falls into the whole kind of like lovesick concept, but it's driving it home quite literally with this one, with the pathogens or the virus falling in love with the immunity cells that are made to eliminate them in the first place. It's kind of like that forbidden love kind of thing. And it's so funny because this feels like a fever dream. I'm just so interested to find out more as to how Shaw ended up with this particular concept. The character design for the immunity cells ladies look really cute though. Okay, now that we've got into that particular concept, let's talk about M. Now, I've seen a lot of fans talk about it as the microphagy or the microphage. I should brush up on my biology terms. Most of my recent biology knowledge comes from Hatarako Saibo or cells at work, so I might be a bit rusty. But for this one, I know that there's a lot of interpretations to that because that's also an immunity system cell. To me, initially, I thought that M is for medicine. Like initially, like if you're sick, you take in medicine, and it kind of like worked the first time. That's why they were sent to the poolside with like the rabbit dog looking character and like the others. And it kind of like worked, but they were able to kind of like grow into it even more, like to adapt to it. And so the person, and that's the reason why like the immunity cells aren't really paying attention to them at first, but then they came back stronger, and that's why in this particular scene right here, like they were able to dodge the medicine the next time around. So that's why the immunity cells had to attack. I don't know, that's my interpretation of it. I'm not sure what M stands for, but for me, I get that some people interpret it as the microphagy, but for me, I'm not sure. Like my initial interpretation of it was medicine, and also because you have the immunity cells here, so you have to have a character that is differentiated from them. So yeah, but anyways, this is so fun. I love it when my faves get all nerdy, that you kind of like have this really fun concept that makes you learn as well. Very edutaining. So right, let's go back a little bit. Like, see, like they were able to survive that kind of like poolside scene, and then this is kind of like a second encounter. They're a lot stronger now. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, the choreography for this part. Kishi was so cute there. Sorry, can we go back to this particular line, like have a nice? Initially, I was so confused by that line, because it just doesn't make sense as is, right? But a couple of days ago, as I was listening to it over and over, I noticed the pattern where even in the last line of this song, it was cut off and was trailing off that way. And I might be completely wrong about this. It might just be kind of like a syntax thing, or kind of like a I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, because grammatically, like that sentence just doesn't make sense. But to me, an interpretation that I have is, given the narrative of the song, where this is about a lost love. You know how it is with, like, when you wish someone the best, have a nice life, you tell them, or whenever you're bidding someone goodbye or wishing them well, you kind of like say that. But for here, you kind of like trail off and not really complete that sentence, because you still have overwhelming love for them, and it's not really like have a nice life and then that's that, and then you're willing to move on, because obviously, like, the POV of the song is they haven't really moved on from that experience. Like, they acknowledge that it's gone past, but they still have like these overwhelming huge feelings. And to me, the way how it is with the end of the song, with Sho saying, have a nice, and then he kind of like coughs very or clears his throat very awkwardly. I kind of like see it as how it is with rom-coms, where a character was trying to be cool, playing it cool, saying goodbye to their crush or someone that they like, but they couldn't bring themselves to say it. I feel like that was that, have a nice, and then it kind of like trails off. But I don't know. I mean, that's just me trying to make sense of that particular line. But yeah, and again, just playing it off with, the whole kind of like lovesick concept again. But yeah, let's go back a little bit. So cute. I love this. Oh my god! Wait, let's go back. So cute. This is so cute. This entire scene right here. Oh, I love this particular scene because what's interesting about this is with Kishi and Jin's character, like, it just seems like, they're kind of like really happy. But then Sho has this expression, which I think everybody pointed out last night when the music video released, and I noticed this as well. This scene right here makes you believe that he actually fell in love with this character. Like, you kind of like, I don't know if it's just me, but you kind of like start feeling for his character with this kind of look, because you see him kind of like really enamored with this person that he's dancing with. And it's just, Shaw acting, obviously. But this particular like scene right here, it just makes it so believable that here's this person falling in love with this other person, and that makes the last scene of this music video hit so much. And I'll be explaining more of that later, but I'm just really obsessed with the way that he's looking at the other character like this. And it's not, and the thing with the POV of this is, it's not even like them looking at each other. It's just him looking at her. So again, it kind of like plays into the whole one-sidedness of it. Like him kind of like, it's his POV. He's the one who fell hard for this other person, which is what the song is also about. So yeah. I love this so much. And I like this little part right here. I'm getting too relaxed. I like that part right here where they kind of like revert back to the older scenes. And it's just so interesting because I don't know, like it kind of like really gives that kind of like nostalgic feel to it. Also, I just want to say, like, when they were introducing the immunity cells, like the names of the female characters in this music video, it kind of like reminds me of 90s, like how 90s credits are, like in the opening scenes of TV shows, like with Friends or like with The X-Files or Buffy, where you kind of like show the face of the character and you have their name on it. They don't do credits like that a lot anymore these days. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that little detail again, playing into the whole 90s inspiration, aesthetic, all that. Wait, there's a lion there in that earlier scene. Reminds me of their KP era with the lions everywhere during concerts. But anyways. The choreography is just so good. I love that scene where Shaw looks back at the character and then it kind of like flashbacks into these fun moments that they've had. So again, with the idea of, you know, falling in love type of thing. But then they repeat that particular part again, and when he looks back, he gets shot. And it kind of like plays into a lot of like the metaphors of, and that's when it hits the most, like that look that he had earlier with him looking at her very lovingly, and then she betrays him by shooting him. I know, I just felt so bad. Even if, like, generally speaking, biologically speaking, pathogens are not exactly like the best because they make you sick, all those things. But yeah, in this particular story, they made me feel for the virus, which is them. But yeah, I don't know. But it's just, I don't know, it's just so cute the way that they went with this. And then you hear them like flatlining when at the start, you know, the heart monitor literally was kind of like sending heart signals. I'm curious about the sound in the end. I'm curious if it would lead to like another track or it's just a deliberate choice. I like the sound of this, for being honest. Kind of like the end credits when the initial one was kind of like the fun one, you know? Really thankful for all these different people who worked on this very fun music video at an age where everything is just nice, crisp, and cool. And, you know, for them to come up with this really very interesting, lively set is just amazing. Again, very reminiscent of very older films with a fin ending. And then this part right here. So the immune system cells are the ones wearing the purple gloves, and the ones wearing the heart pendants are number I members. And it's just so cute that, you know how it is biologically, again, on a scientific basis, when your body tends to remember pathogens or like illnesses that you've experienced in the past to be able to gear it even better when it comes to like you getting that. That's what vaccines are for as well. Like they actually inject you with the virus or the bacteria. I might be getting my terminology wrong, but that's what you get injected with so that your body can learn to adapt to, you know, that kind of specimen, something like that. But so that's how it is with this as well. It's kind of like an interesting thing how they kind of like closed in the gap, or the kind of like use actual biology getting sick in terms of how romance is, that no matter how long it is, traces of it still remains with you, especially with this kind of love that is big and massive and it's overwhelming and kind of like remains with you. So even if it's gone, there are still remnants of it there. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, like this concept is just really, really cute and smart, which I think is my favorite part about this, is at an age where music videos just sometimes feel like they're just there. They're just there, literally. You still get these types of music videos where it's very creative. The concept isn't just fun, it's also smart. And I just love that about Number I. And I'm just so excited for them to do promos for this song. And I just absolutely love the vibe of this. And and as usual, like I really love them. Oh my gosh, this video is so long. Um but yeah, just absolutely love this song. Curious to see and hear what other people think. I don't know any of the other characters. I don't know what the function of like the dog rabbit character is, or the flowers on the side. I don't know, but it is a very intricate and fun music video, and I really love that I don't know what to expect from them, and they always surprise me every time in the best way possible. And I just love this group so much, and it's so nice to have it released on Cho's birthday as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. It's a lot. I'm looking forward to today because there's just a lot of activities that they're going to do for both the release of this and potentially for Cho's birthday. But anyways, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon in a new one. Bye!